What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Arena of Valor esports review, and this time, of course, we are going to be continuing these APL 2020 quarterfinals with quarterfinal number 3, Bazaar going up against HKA, Hong Kong Attitude, of course, here. And yeah, of course, these two teams are very, very hyped. I mean, there's only really great teams remaining right now in those quarterfinals. However, these two especially are two of the tournament favorites that I've seen from a lot of you guys' comments and anywhere else on social media. So we will see how these two teams will clash against each other. Bazaar instantly on that first pick side, on blue side, banning away that Florentino, also banning that Elandor. And now HKA, very interestingly, banning away Richter and Zip. Zip is very standard, but the Richter is of course is probably the strongest Slayer laner right now. However, that Dirak ban is missing, you know, and I'm not sure if that is worth to give up that Dirak. This Wukong hover is of course rubbish here. We are gonna definitely see that Dirak first pick being used here by a Bazaar. Of course, QQ gonna be playing that in that middle lane, and he is amazing at it. Just like any of these mid laners right now that are remaining are just amazing at Dirak, because you have to be amazing at Dirak to play at this level since he's the strongest mage. Now we have a Maloch and Capheny hover here. That is a very understandable too. Of course, Capheny stronger than Laville in most situations. So we see these pro teams also prioritizing her over that Laville, and the Maloch is just super strong. And now we have Bazaar has that decision to make now. Are they gonna pick up that Laville and try to use it in this first game already? Or do they want to keep that Laville for other games, you know? But if they want to use it here, they probably would have to pick it right now, because I think in the ban phase number 2, HKA will decide to ban it out. And yeah, so far we have a Kriknak and a Lumber hover. So if they pick up their jungler here and the support, then they can ban out possibly some junglers away from HKA. But of course, game 1, everything is still possible. So a lot of different possibilities there. We'll see if they decide to lock in this Kriknak and Lumber, and they do. I think there's still a lot of strong supports left, like that Kriknak, but we might see that guy being banned out by Bazaar here. Preyta being hovered. I don't think that will happen, but it does happen. Preyta being picked up here against Dirak and against Kriknak. Kriknak can easily kill that Preyta super fast. And yeah, they decide to ban out Omen, in fact. So this is very interesting, because now this Maloch can of course be flexed into either a solo lane, in that Slayer lane, or he can be flexed into that support position. So they decide to ban out that Omen, which honestly gets countered a little bit by Maloch. So we'll see what they want to do with this Maloch. Usually he's seen as a mid laner. Ban phase 2 for Bazaar side, they ban out that Pain. As I said, they can look into banning those junglers now, since they already picked one up. And unless Capheny goes jungle, which is possible, Maloch jungle is more of a Shurko video than a pro player pick. You know what I mean, guys? But it will work as well. But Lubu being banned out here, I think they want to put this Maloch in that Slayer lane here. But again, Lubu and Omen don't really counter Maloch or something, so I'm still not sure what they're doing with this. It might end up being a support, which I would honestly like to see. The issue with Maloch support is you are lacking in that CC department compared to a Thane or an Ormar, who have CC already from level 1 and not only at level 4 like Maloch does. And now Rourke being potentially banned, and it is being locked in here. Again, one of the junglers that now Wukong being hovered here all the time, man. These teams are just having fun with it. I highly doubt they will end up picking this Wukong, but they might pick up their jungler here. They decide to go for a Kilgrove. Kilgrove is a pretty good pick now, because now they banned some Slayer laners, now they pick theirs. And now Bazaar is just in a huge trouble here, kind of, because they still need to pick up a Slayer laner. But there's not too many left. I mean, there's of course Yena still left, but I don't think you want to pick Yena in this situation. I don't think she would be too good against a Kilgrove, a Maloch. Just kind of an iffy pick, you know, right here. She can definitely kill that Capheny very easily, but I don't think we'll see a Yena coming out here. There's definitely some other Slayer laners that they could pick up. Wukong being hovered once again, but it's definitely not gonna be Wukong. Valheim is definitely a good choice here for the marksman position, and of course Roxy and Qi are both being hovered here. It seems like it will be a Roxy. Nope, he switches last second to that Qi, and yeah, Qi going up against Kilgrove. Definitely Qi doesn't really want to fight that Kilgrove. He could definitely win that 1v1. Unless she can one-shot him, catch him by surprise and one-shot him when he's already at like half HP with her ult combo and stuff. But I think both will just be farming away, and she will try to make some roams happen there. And he will just try to, the Kilgrove will just try to split push here. We have Valheim as well going up against that Capheny. I think this is one of the marksmen who can kind of beat Capheny early game. And now, as I said, these junglers being banned out. So Quillen might have to be picked up here. In that last pick, Kira as well available. Kira or Quillen, it seems to be. And honestly, who's better here? I feel like Volkath even. Volkath is being hovered right now. They are just swapping these picks, man. They're just having some giggles there, apparently. But yeah, in the end, Quillen being picked up. Quillen, of course, pretty good against the Dirak. Pretty good against that Valheim. Not too good, honestly, against Kriknak. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I definitely hope we will see a great game by both teams coming out. And yeah, I couldn't really predict too much in that draft, not gonna lie. But it's really difficult always for the first game. I'm sure you guys understand. I mean, listen boys, I'm not hired. I'm just an idiot here talking a little bit. So what do I know? Anyway, we have that Bazaar roster already trio queuing, trio clearing that mid lane wave, Valheim absorbing a lot of that farm actually there, Dirak instantly going bot as well. You know, usually you see that in my solo queue games, where the marksman takes my wave level 1, and then I get tilted and I walk bot to steal his wave, okay? But we see it here in a pro game, so that is always fun to see, because the pros seem to be a little bit trying to be relatable, you know, for us guys, so great on them there. Anyway, we have that Quillen already yoinking that mid lane wave like a jungler should. This is just absolutely stellar performance coming out from both of these solo ranked teams here. Just what you would expect. And yeah, we have that, of course, both teams are just gonna clear their lanes, clear their jungle right now. Not too much will be happening. Now let me see what these teams should be trying to do. I mean, Bazaar's focus should be pretty obvious. They should just try to one-shot this Capheny as many times as they can with that Kriknak, with that CC coming in by Valheim. Maybe throw in a Lumber ult flicker in there to just secure, to just lock her down and easily pick her up. And yeah, she has that sprint, so she won't be able to jump away from Kriknak. If she's in range, she won't be able to close to widen the distance fast enough. And it seems like Bazaar already getting a little bit of a lead here because of that Spirit Sentinel being picked up by them. And as I said, I feel like Kriknak is just better than Quillen in most cases, but also just in that 1v1 matchup, Quillen versus that jungle matchup, Quillen versus Kriknak. Definitely Kriknak takes that cake. As you can see, he's already winning in terms of pressure. Definitely helps them that they have Dirak as well compared to that Preyta. Preyta and Quillen, definitely not the strongest picks in this meta, guys. I have to say, this Qi is going deep right now. She gets baited, but now it was a counter bait, because that... Ooh, will he get picked up? He gets picked up. Very well played by DCB on his Kilgrove, on his Kriknak here, excuse me. Gets the kill onto that Kilgrove. First blood going over to Bazaar Gaming. They're already, not only did they get that Spirit Sentinel, but they also get that First Blood onto the Mr. Fishy Boy. And that is always good, because of course Kilgroth wants a smooth sailing to the late game, and he picks up those armor boots as well, which is of course very standard on Kilgroth, but in this game it's worth pointing out because it's gonna make him much tankier against that Kriknak and Qi. So this might have been the last gank that they will attempt on him, because he has that Knight's plate as well now. Meanwhile, the Bazaar is able to secure that first dragon as well. And yeah, they're finding themselves with a pretty nice, like around 500 gold lead. Quillen gets the jump onto Dirak, but is able to, the Dirak is able to survive, gets saved there, has to flicker away from that Maloch ult. So very well done there. And again, as I said, that was a support Maloch coming in. So yeah, this support Maloch, you will see, they lack CC terribly. I'm really not a fan of HKA's comp here. I think, like, Capheny has no CC. Maloch has no CC. I mean, that slow of the S2, that really doesn't count, guys. Let's be real. Quillen only has a slow. Again, Kilgroth only has a slow. Like, where's the CC? It's only those two Preyta S2s and the Maloch ult who's the full, who's hard CC, right, in that game for HKA, which is just absolutely crazy. I'm really not a fan of this comp, so we'll see if Bazaar is, as I am assuming here, gonna just completely wipe this game, wipe the floor with HKA here. And HKA already has to use that Maloch ult to clear that wave. They get completely poked out, and luckily for them, they will be able to port back and get back to that dragon in the next 36 seconds when it spawns. But Bazaar is just getting those minion waves first, and they will get some considerable poke onto this tower right now for sure. Preyta will clear that wave halfway, but that is not enough, and they actually pick up a full tower 5 minutes into the game. Very strong start for Bazaar right here. As I said, the CC is just, guys, in this game there's so much CC. Like Dirak has more CC in his entire kit than the whole HKA roster, okay? There's so many heroes with broken amounts of CC, and HKA really didn't pick any of them, which is just, yeah, it's very peculiar, guys. But on the side of Bazaar, we have a lot of very strong picks coming out already. They have that Kriknak, of course, which is currently one of the most contested junglers in pro play. Just a really clean pick, not only for solo ranked, also for pro play. Just such a strong hero. Fast rotations, huge amount of burst, very fast jungling speed, farms really fast, has a nice, can one-shot everybody at any point in the game, counters tanks as well with his percentage damage on this one. So overall, just such a nice hero, solid in every single regard. And yeah, of course that Dirak, we don't have to say anything, he's completely broken. So Bazaar already expanding two of these super strong picks. Meanwhile, HKA, I mean, honestly, Capheny and Maloch are pretty close to Dirak. Capheny might even be, yeah, at the same level of Dirak. So I don't know, man. HKA, really weird draft coming in. Dirak ult completely missing there, and Qi following up that fight there, gets the S1 flicker onto Capheny. However, she still had that Arctic Orb and gets away with her life for now. And yeah, still a 500 gold lead approximately on the side of Bazaar. So the lead really isn't growing too much here. So HK is doing a good job just farming. But again, the later this game goes, the more issues they will have because of their lack of CC. So I don't know what to say. We will see if they can outplay the opponents anyway with macro. The saving grace for them is definitely gonna be that Kilgroth, because he is just such a strong 1v1 hero. He can 1v1 everybody on the enemy roster, on Bazaar's roster in that late game. So he might be able to get some towers by split pushing, maybe get some solo kills if they try to overcommit against him. And at that point, I can see HK crawling back into this game. But right now, yeah, it is definitely in Bazaar's favor. As you can see, they are ahead in that. In terms of pressure, they're just way more in the enemy's face here. You can see they are the ones being the aggressors, okay? They're the alpha chads, while HKA with this team comp is the beta virgins, okay? It is what it is, and we'll see if Bazaar can keep this up right now. The Maloch decides to counter-engage, though. They get a kill onto that Dirak, and now Quillen is starting to get online. And of course, Quillen outscales Kriknak for sure. Kriknak is definitely, he isn't too strong late game. He can still one-shot everybody, but he just jumps in late game and just gets instantly killed, usually. So that is an issue with Kriknak. Quillen is kind of similar, but Quillen has that reset mechanic, which makes him much stronger in the late game, because if he gets one kill, he can just roll over the whole team fight. And yeah, HKA almost has to hope for that, so they just have way less options here. However, they're also making way less mistakes. They were able to get to that mid game now without dropping too many kills, despite a worse team composition in my opinion. Despite being on the back foot, the enemies aggressing onto them, they still were able to turtle up until this point. And now Bazaar, that Dirak and that Valheim just made huge blunders there, dropped their lives, and now HKA is all of a sudden turning this game around, is getting that first mid lane tower of the map, and they also have that top lane tower, so they are even ahead one tower. They get the third tower with that Kilgrove split push I was talking about, and now, I mean, listen guys, we can't really predict how the players will play, but let me tell you, okay, with HKA's team comp, we still have some comeback potential for Bazaar here, for sure, okay? Especially because Capheny just, I don't know, man, she's definitely incredibly strong, but they don't only have a Kriknak, they also have a Qi, which both can just flicker onto, I mean, just jump onto this Capheny, and at that point it is really difficult for her to survive. However, Hong Kong Attitude is able to secure that first Slayer of the game, so they are already super strong in this game, man. And yeah, I mean, I guess they had to make me chew my words. I was pretty much spending these first 6 minutes just trashing their team composition, trashing their draft, and now they turn it around. So what can I say? I guess clown emojis at me. And yeah, we have Bazaar still not giving up, trying to get this rotation onto this Capheny, but she is able to retreat in time and go into those bushes, and they lose track of her. And yeah, we have just Bazaar definitely on the back foot right now. Despite the gold lead not really being too much, they seem to be just scared. I feel like they still win. They still win this. I mean, they're still winning it right now, okay? Because at the end of the day, what does HKA have? They still don't have too much CC. They have a support Maloch, which isn't going to do a lot of damage. If you can avoid the ult, it's going to be pretty much meh. Then we have, on the side of Bazaar, we have a Dirak. We have a Kriknak that's still a lot of gold there, okay? But I'm just seeing Quillen has 9.5k gold. Now, I have no idea what is happening right there. But how does a Quillen get to 9.5k gold, guys, in 11 minutes here? While the Kriknak, who was ahead, was at 7.5k. The whole 2k gold lead is only on Quillen, guys. That is just absolutely insane. Now, this Quillen is huge. I think that's why they're playing so scared right now, because the Quillen is just gonna pop that Dirak, pop that Valheim, like, no issues there. So, I don't know. Shaolin definitely doing a great job farming very efficiently this game. And right now, as I said, this Drake is pushing down on that top side, and Capheny is just gonna easily be able to pick up that tower there. And yeah, it just seems like both teams playing so, I don't know, Bazaar just playing so beta right now. They're just not trying anything. They could definitely try to get a jump onto the Quillen or onto that Capheny with the Qi S1 flicker. They're still waiting here. The Drake is gonna die very soon. Dirak just walks straight into that Preyta S1. That is absolutely crazy. Loses almost half his HP. And yeah, We will see how this turns out right now. We have, of course, as I said, that Quillen just keeps farming. Usually, you see these jungle assassins giving over a lot of farm to their marksmen in pro play right now, because the marksmen are just so incredibly strong. Of course, Capheny being one of the strongest would make a lot of sense, but this Quillen is juiced right now. He is at full items. He still has Arctic Orb available, and I'm sure he has enough gold to use it and then sell it into at least a Death Sickle, but I would say even a Blade of Eternity. I'm not sure exactly on the gold values, but almost 12k gold. That smells... Never mind, he sells it for Fenris. That is ballsy, guys. I love this gameplay coming out of this Quillen right now. He is 2-0, has all the kills on his team, and yeah, he picks up that Fenris. Sells the Arctic Orb enchantment for the Fenris, and now this damage is just absolutely crazy coming in by him. If he doesn't make any mistake, this is just going to be a smooth sailing, because he's just going to kill everybody on the side of Bazaar. But Bazaar really just not trying anything right now. They're just completely giving up the whole map here after one lost team fight. They completely gave up everything. They didn't even try anymore. Maybe nerfs are... Maybe they're very, very nervous here. Although, I don't know. I mean, Bazaar, they won the... I think they won the Thailand League. I'm not sure if it was Buriram or Bazaar. But they definitely placed very high there. So they already should have quite a lot of experience. And right now, a team fight breaks out. And again, you can see... Look at this Qi ult. Unfortunately pushes the enemies away from the Dirak laser. However, it did not matter, because that was just such a nice 3-man S1 flicker knockup into the ult that it just completely ends the team fight, man. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Bazaar was winning that fight under their tower without the Qi even. And then she came in and completely ended the fight there. So I really don't understand why they were playing so scared. The gold lead wasn't too big, and now we can see the Quillen damage coming out here. Gets the reset, and now it's gonna be smooth sailing. Capheny is still alive. Overextension coming in by Bazaar. They get a little bit too overconfident at the wrong time though, and they try to go for that Abyssal Dragon. However, of course, the Endless Cycles being used on the side of HKA, and they're already there. That Quillen already following up, and yeah, gets that kill, sells his jungle item for Blade of Eternity right now, so he has that available. I'm sure he has enough gold right now to sell it into Death Sickle, so that is gonna be a very, very tanky Quillen. He got that Enraged Abyssal Dragon as well. I think he has the revival buff. No, Capheny took it. So Capheny, of course, also fully juiced up, full items. So I feel like she's even a better user than Quillen right now. Off it, even though Quillen goes deeper, but Capheny just ends the game if she stays alive during those team fights. Valheim won't be able to do anything, despite him having a very, very nice aggressive build as well. There is a lot of Fenrirs coming out this game, man. Like, you don't usually see so many Fenrirs, but the Kriknak also went for one. I mean, that's obvious. Qi is also obvious, but Quillen with that lost item, Valheim with the Fenrirs, that is pretty nice. So we will see lots of damage being exchanged by these teams. 6-6 on the score. These teams are playing incredibly safe, man. They're just farming it up. I feel like they will struggle against the other two quarterfinal winners that we've seen so far, because I feel like the other two quarterfinals that we checked out already. I mean, this is only the first game, so I can't really judge by only that. As I said, maybe in the first game they're nervous and they're gonna ease into it. But I feel like the other teams are playing much faster, like just much more tempo than these two teams right now. So yeah, we'll definitely have to see how the winner of this will fare against the others. But of course, as I said, it is very foolish of me to judge already. I'm just pointing it out because of course you can't judge by one game only. So yeah. We have a push being set up in that bottom lane. It seems like they want to get that tier 3 tower in that bottom lane first. So they are setting up this push. They have the minion wave coming in. They have the Drake pushing in as well. But it seems like Dirak is just gonna clear this minion wave very comfortably. They rotated away from it, which again just seems like such a slow play. They're again just waiting for the next minion wave. They could have used both to push. Now Dirak still has his huge Maloch ult though. Very well played by the Maloch support there. And yeah, Dirak set up that wall though, so this is not a tower going down. It is just what Dirak is. That's why he is one of the first rotation bans on red side almost every single game, because as I said, he is just so incredibly strong. Now no Dirak ult available, so that the tier 3 tower in the mid lane falls. The tier 3 tower in that top lane fell already as well, so now only that one tower is remaining. A is really low, and this is where the Qi again decides to take her chance and flicker onto that Preyta this time. He's able to pick him up, and a lot of others losing their Blade of Eternity right now on the side of Hong Kong Attitude, but they picked up the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane, so they really don't care. I feel like, again, this engage could have come out much earlier, guys, because they lost 2 towers without even trying anything. They just tried to disengage after that Maloch ult. Not sure what to say, definitely not a fan of Bazaar's gameplay so far. I still feel like they outdrafted, which we evidently see by the team fights being won by them, despite being behind in gold. Once again here, they trade 1 for 1 or 1 for 2, I think. Actually, they lost 1, but the other 2 were already dead. So listen, guys, it is just really, I don't know, man. Bazaar was getting hyped really hard right now. Again, I'm not trying to judge too early here, but this is just incredibly slow right now, man. I want to see some action, guys. I'm sure you guys are thinking the same. We have been blessed by 2 very, very high quality quarterfinals so far. So I mean, if this becomes one of the boring ones where it's just a blowout by one team, or if it's even just low kills, I mean, we have to accept it, guys. What can we say? But I definitely didn't expect it of these 2 tournament favorites clashing like that. What also could be is that just both teams are playing clean, where they are not leaving the enemies any openings. This could be the fact as well, okay? Maybe HKA is just playing so incredibly well that this Qi cannot find any other openings and has to wait this long, which I'll try to keep my eyes out here for the next fight. We'll see if the Qi gets another, like a better opening. Like right now, she could just try to instantly engage because the kill graph was split. Now again, she lost that opening. Now the minion waves are already in the base, and now she goes in. So again, I just don't feel like that was the right choice to make. The kill graph was bot lane. She could have jumped onto that Capheny. She was almost in range there, just had to walk a few more steps. And now they decide when the damage is already done, the minion wave is already at your core, and then you decide to engage. It is just such like slow gameplay coming out of Bazaar. Not a fan so far. We will have to see who gets the MVP. I think it will be the Quillen or the Capheny. Although the Quillen probably deserves it more, but I think Capheny didn't die, so we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, I definitely hope these 2 teams, Capheny gets it. I definitely hope these 2 teams step it up a little bit in terms of aggression here, because of course we've seen that aggression is very good in a lot of these games, especially if you have a Qi, man. We saw Team Elvo, I believe it was, where they had that Qi and almost came back with those beautiful team fights. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this though, although it was a pretty slow game here. Still nice to see that Quillen popping off like that, getting that Fenrir's, and yeah, just farming out of his mind right there, just playing the macro really well. And definitely a very clean game coming out of HKA here. The only times they dropped kills is when they got major objectives for them, like the triple towers and stuff like that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys the next time. Peace out, boys. Bye-bye.